My name is Abby Butler Moore, and I am the President and Chief Operating Officer of Butler Gas Products. I'm third generation in our family owned and operated business. Butler Gas is a manufacturer and distributor of industrial and medical gases. So we sell air, and I've grown up around the business. I've been full time for 11 years, and it's been my part time job since I was a kid here hanging around our offices.
My name is Katie Boland, and I'm an HR generalist for Gordon Food Service out of the Imperial, Pennsylvania Distribution Center. So Gordon Food Service, we are a food distribution company, so we deliver food and food products, so paper products, things like that, to restaurants, schools, hospitals, senior living facilities, pretty much anyone that needs a bulk food order, we will deliver to. And we also have Gordon Food Service stores that are open to the public.
Good morning, or good day, or good afternoon. My name is Trina Alford, and I am an employee of FedEx Ground. I am in my 24th year of employment at FedEx. I started out in customer service, then went into credit and collections, and then went to HR, where I am currently in HR as a recruiter. We are more than just shipping of packages. We have FedEx offices. We have a logistics department. We have custom critical, express, freight. Now I even see that we have specialized, or what they call in COVID critical positions in different buildings and different areas across the United States, because we're trying to make sure the supplies needed for essential workers are out there in a timely fashion, as well as the vaccines are delivered in refrigerated trucks as well. So we're more than just the people that's getting you the box at the door.
My name is Kristen Sherling. I am a talent acquisition coordinator at FedEx Ground, specifically at our Zillionople location. I do the hiring, mainly responsible for the recruiting and the hiring of the package handlers. So those are our warehouse workers.
My name is Hannah McAvoy. I work for Range Resources. Currently I handle all of the supporting aspect of the waste for the company that comes in our Appalachian division, which is the division right here. I handle making sure that we get the manifest back and that we record that so we know that each load was dumped. I record that in a system. I'm responsible for making sure that all of our annual, biennial, and monthly waste reports get completed and turned into the state by their due dates. Part of our process in environmental compliance is we write policies, procedures, and field guides, and I'm responsible for writing all of those for the waste side. Prior to that, I went out and I did the actual on-site environmental well site inspections that are required by the state. There are two of us who are in the field. While my current position doesn't put me in the field every day, I'm still considered a full-time field employee. The other young lady is in the field every single day, every day of her work day, occasionally in the office. We do have a field manager who goes out occasionally, and then we have some female engineers who go out in the field, and they are production engineers or completions engineers or drilling engineers. But on the field side in my department doing the actual inspections, there's only two of us.
From what I have experienced now, because the female and I have one female ops manager in particular. She just got promoted to engineer, and she actually was one of the better managers. To look at her, you would think she was this like nice, sweet little girl, but when she opened her mouth, she commanded the sort. You know, she had respect from everybody. as well as, you know, the male employees. But the only obstacle I've seen is if someone doesn't speak up and say this is what they want to do, because there's so many opportunities within FedEx, within our building, that if you want to try something, just open your mouth and, you know, and that was one of the things I was saying in orientation. If you want to try something or you see something like, oh, I want to, you know, drive the switcher or drive the forklift, or something of that nature, all you have to do is let your manager know this is what you're interested in. We set you in training, get the testing, and move you into that position. You know, it may be something that you want to do, but once you get into that position you don't like, that's okay. You know, at least you've tried it, and we can, you know, put you somewhere else to make you feel more comfortable.
Most of the obstacles of being a female in a male-dominated industry, I think, are self-inflicted. You know, when I look back at challenging times, there was always something where I should have done something differently. You know, I think that as females, we tend to maybe want to not assimilate as much as we should. You know, the best thing to do in a male-dominated industry is just be involved in the industry. Just get involved, learn, be competent, be knowledgeable, and get involved. I think that's all any company, any employer ever wants, is to have engaged people on the roster, and engagement isn't gender specific.
I have been with Range, it'll be 11 years this month. And when they hired me, I was the first female field employee that they hired. So there were some challenges at the beginning. You had to prove that not only were you very comfortable out there, but that you knew what you were talking about. I had to make sure that when I asked for something, I knew why I was asking for it and all of the details about it. And it was more just, they weren't used to having women in the field, and they weren't used to having women in the field who could say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you adjust this per the regulation? So it took a little bit of just me proving that I knew what I was doing and that I could hold my own out there. But then once everyone kind of got used to the fact that I was out there, and then we hired another field employee that was a female, and they got used to us, we really haven't had any challenges since then.
I've thought about this question a lot, and there's so much I want to say about it. But briefly, I do think gender equality is just so important for many, many reasons. It is essential for our economic prosperity as a country, and it supports, I think, a safer and healthier society in general. It really ensures that every individual has an equal opportunity to make the most of your life, your talents. Everybody deserves that opportunity, and being a woman in a male-dominated field should not stop you from following your dreams. If that's what your niche is and what you're great at, all the more power to go after it. You should use that, the male dominance in your career, you should use that to drive you to make a difference and make a change. And a lot of people, a lot of males on your team can learn from that too.
It's so important. It's so cool to pave a way for women. I wish I could say that we've had a female maintenance tech here. We just don't get that much of attraction or application from them. But I really think they could move or enter into this type of environment and add to it, because it's going to bring a change no matter what, just bringing in a new perspective and bringing in females. And I think it takes a lot of guts to go into such a male dominated, field. And I think that in itself requires a lot of confidence and stuff like that. So to be able to have that representation here, I think would be awesome. And I think it's super important for our crew that we currently have. to maybe think a little bit more outside of the box, or, not to generalize, but, a lot of men are like black and white, where most things are gray, and I think it could bring in a lot of perspective, and I think it would be awesome to have, woman, a female on the maintenance side.
Why I feel it's important, again, it goes back to, what your worth is and what you can do, whether it's a male field or female field. Like, where those labels come from, I'm not even sure. Because you look in today's world, there's positions that female never held before, and then we go into, different cultures that are holding these male positions. I myself, my mom was actually the first African-American female to be deputy warden of a county position in the state of Pennsylvania. I can remember me and my brother and sister, why she always got to go to work? Why she always got to do that? Why she always got to do that? And now to know she's in the history books is like, wow,
It's definitely important for women to get involved in traditionally male-dominated fields, because the lack of diversity kills innovation and it kills companies. Different people thinking differently from different walks of life and different experience, it's critical. It's that diversity that fuels new developments in technology. It's that diversity that fuels new ideas of business strategy. It's that ideological conflict and that debate of ideas that propels companies forward. That's why men, women, older people, younger people, people from different ethnicities, people from different backgrounds, it's all progressive because it moves things forward.
They're good paying jobs. I mean, you can make a very good living in the oil and gas field, and we can do it just as well as the men can do it. So there's no reason why more women shouldn't get into the field. And I wish over time that there were more, but so far there just haven't been.
I would say definitely just focus on cultivating and embracing your confidence wherever you are. Make sure that you acknowledge your own accomplishments within yourself too. If you're struggling to find, that feedback, acknowledging your accomplishments will give you more self-confidence, and it's rightly earned if you've done a job well done. I would avoid comparing yourself to others as well. You're the only one that's responsible for your success, and you can get that success in a different way than someone else might. And then finding your voice is huge for you and the teams you work on. Share your thoughts in the workplace. It only supports the diversity inclusion that many employers focus on. And, you have a lot to bring to the table, so don't hold back.
So my advice about entering a non-traditional field is I think that there has been a big push. I know there was a big push when I was graduating from high school that college is the only option, that's the only option that you have. But I look back and I think I do wish someone had mentioned the other non-traditional more trades, because I am out there thinking like, I'm kind of jealous of some of the welders. I think, oh my goodness, that'd be like a fun job to have, and to be able to do that would be awesome. And there's actually a young lady that I've been talking to recently who lives around me, and she's going to a community college. And I told her the other day, I said, you should really look into going to school for welding. Like, you would be shocked how many opportunities would open up if you became a welder. And welding is just an example. I mean, there's so much opportunity to be had by going into the trades, and I just wish more women would get into that sort of business, and you can really make a name for yourself, and you can really move ahead with a career by having those jobs.
I think it's really important for applicants to interview companies just as much as companies interview applicants. You know, a career search is about seeking out experiences and seeking out how you want to spend your time. I spend more time at work than I do with my family. So it's really important. It's a two-way street, recruitment. A lot of young people, I know I did when I was first starting my career, I always thought that interviewing was about the company picking me, right? It was about the company picking the applicant. But that's only 50% of it. The other half is the applicant has to pick the company. So concisely, the advice would be ask questions. Ask equal to the number of questions of the prospective employer as the employer is asking the prospective employee. I won't hire anybody that doesn't ask me questions because I don't perceive that they're interested in the job or that they're really engaged in why they're there. So ask questions and interview. You know, when you go on an interview, you also are interviewing. You're interviewing the company just as much as they're interviewing you. I mean, other pieces of advice, I guess, of things that I wish I knew when I was younger and earlier in my career. It's really important to understand how the company that you work for makes money. So it's very important, you know, if you want to be on the fast track of your career, learn how your employer and learn how your company measures success. Because if you know that, if you know how earnings are produced, if you know how that company makes money, then you can do things that contribute to that outcome. And that's probably the easiest way to fast track your career, is be someone in that organization that understands how your role is part of the big picture.
Just go for it. You know, if someone say no, you just move on to the next. There's something out there. If you truly want it, you will get it.